Now, about the myths. Myth number one is free education. It's definitely a myth. People today want to receive individual or bespoke education, and they're prepared to pay for it. What we have today is a law on education where universities are to get the approval of their trustees for the level of the fees they charge. How does that tally with the competitive economy? It's either senseless or it breeds corruption. It's also against the anti-monopoly legislation. Another myth that has to be done away with is that our teaching staff are the best. Well, they're different. Some of them are the best, others are not. Some of them are computerate, others are not. For instance, haven't we all met people who call themselves politology professors who really taught something called scientific communism before the end of the Soviet era? In the same vein, today, many professors of nanotechnologies are simply people who taught material science until recently, and now they have renamed themselves. So attracting very good teachers is something that we'll have to do. Yet another myth is that this country has too many lawyers and too many economists. This is a myth. We don't have enough. Lawyers and economists are not just people who have certification papers that call them that, but people of real good quality.
Oleg Kokordin now, who is the rector of the European University of St. Petersburg, and he is the head of the education establishment where there are lots of foreign students in his PhD courses. Yes, thank you. That's correct. And we look at ourselves as a trial ground where we try out new educational practices in higher education, and we're hoping that large state universities will use our experience to their advantage. We are fairly primitively sell knowledge for dollars. National MA in Russian Studies is our programs. And if you take 10 PhD students who know English and who teach American students, why not? We had 45 applications this year to these programs from Northern America and Western Europe. We are not yet in the Eastern markets, but in other words, we have many more students this year. We are competitive on the price basis with Michigan or other American universities. $26,000 is our course rather than $44,000 in American universities, and so there are plenty of students who are happy to come here. Also, we react to the market demands. American students want to know more and more about Central Asia. And when we offer such courses, there are many takers because of the problem of Afghanistan and Americans' presence there in the later years. What else I wanted to say here? Where such programs could be useful apart from us, an experimental school. If you set up such a school in Saratov, say, where you get the some of the best professors to teach and teach baccalaureate and master's degrees. Of course, people will come to Saratov. So what can sell Saratov? Their exclusivity could be in teaching about Russia. Of course, they can do that. But what else? And we ask these questions. We ask our colleagues who live here and in America, say, and we hold events with our colleagues who work abroad. For instance, we are going to hold a sort of a bridge with our American colleagues, mathematics professors who work in America, but not just that. No, of course not. When we conducted a survey for this conference, just to see where Russia is compared to Western European countries in which sciences, and 20th century mathematics, physics are the sciences of the 20th century. Biology, chemistry is the sciences of the 21st century. I don't know why we don't sell mathematics in English. We should. There is an independent university in Moscow which does that. Well, there are eight professors and 20 students, all graduates of the School of Economics school, recent graduates. But it is not clear who had whom. I think they had us. But in any case, this could be one of the areas of development. Another. Since we are still such good mathematicians and physicists, we must attract students from other countries to these faculties, with English, of course, with the professors who can teach in English. But not having such capabilities, we can't be successful long term. We have foreign students who study in Russian and the other way around, students in English. But there are two camps still. We need to look long term. And as Vladimir Mao said, we need to set up master's courses in English. But we need to also establish English-speaking universities here in Russia. Only then we could be fully competitive in those niche areas which we are looking at now. Thank you.